morning, guys. Happy Friday. TGIF, TGIF. I am excited it's Friday. I get 2 days off of work. I get super excited for Fridays now because I make sure I enjoy those days off. I'm a little chilly inside my house. Hopefully it's a little warmer outside. Let's see. It's 68. I might start my workout with this shirt on. Who knows? But today is a leg day. Hey, Deborah. So I will most likely put my vest on. I haven't worn my vest for leg day in a while, so that means I won't be able to walk that well tomorrow, but it'll be worth it. Hey, Kim. Good morning. So hopefully everybody has had a great week. Hopefully everybody is ready for Christmas. I cannot believe it's next week already. And I can't believe 2019 is right around the corner. It's crazy to say that when I'm talking to people. I'm like, yeah, let's schedule lunch for 2019. What? It's like, holy crap, another year has flown by. And then I really want to sit and reflect on the year and see all that has transpired. I don't even know if I would remember everything. Sometimes my memory is not the best. But I am excited for the new year. I'm excited to see where this job takes me. I'm excited for the kids. Kayla will be going to college in the summer. A lot of new life changes for everybody in the house come next year. Ryan will get his learner's permit and he'll start driving. Oh my gosh. It's crazy how old and grown my kids have gotten. But with that being said, and talking about life, it's a perfect topic actually, to talk about how we're never, you're never stuck. You always have the opportunity to make a change, and you always have the opportunity to do something different. You are always in control, and you're not lost. You just need to stop and take a moment to really reflect, like what I was just talking about, reflecting on the year, reflect on things that have been done, reflect on what steps you took that you thought you were taking towards a goal. Were they really steps towards that goal, or were they possibly steps in a different direction, or steps that took you a couple steps backwards? And it happens, guys. We're humans. We're not robots. And even robots aren't perfect. They're freaking computers. How many times does your computer have to be rebooted? That's why you shut it down every day, so it can work well for you the next day. If you keep it running and keep it running and keep it running, it's not going to work well. It's going to start working slow. It's going to start having little bugs here and there that need to be fixed, just like us as people. You can't constantly think that you can run yourself and run yourself and run yourself and everything's going to be hunky-dory. You're going to get tired. You're going to get sick. You're going to need that time to reboot. And I always look at a new year as my time to reboot. It's my time to reflect. It's my time to see what changes were made. It's the time to see maybe what changes need to be made, and things like that. So, I labeled this that you're never out of control, and you're never in a loss for control, because we have constant control of our lives. And I think a lot of times we forget about that. And a lot of times that hey, Jacqueline, a lot of times we forget, right, Bill? Like, we totally need that reboot. Everybody needs a reboot. You can't run your body constantly like a machine. Even a machine needs a reboot, and it's just plugged in. There's no heart, mind, or anything like that. That's why people get run down, and that's why we get sick. It was because we need that reboot. But we need to remember that we're never out of control. We are always in control. Sometimes we feel lost. Sometimes we feel stuck. And that's why we have to internalize, and we have to do the reflection. We have to do the reboot. And when you're doing that reflection and that reboot is when you're figuring out what steps you want to take next. And let your heart guide you. What's going to be the next step for me? Is that step going to get me towards the goal or the dream or the wish of what I'm trying to accomplish? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself. Those are the things that you need to figure out. But we are always in control. We always have the upper hand in our own lives because we control what's going on. And if there's something, now I know there's going to be things out of our control that happen. That's called life. But we are in control of the actions that take place. We are in control of what step we want to do next because of what's going on in life and because of whatever ball or brick life is throwing in our face. So we have to constantly remind ourselves, I got this. I'm in control of my own life. I'm in control of my destiny. I'm going to figure out what's going on, and that's what I'm going to do. Good morning. Do you pronounce that Ade? Good morning. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So it's just something I wanted to talk about because we're ending a year. We're coming into the new year. That's when a lot of people make resolutions or goals or promises to themselves of what they want to do in the new year. Me, I usually just take it as a time to reflect. I don't do resolutions. I do a word. I haven't thought of my word yet. I better get on that because 2019 is almost here. Like 2018, my word was unapologetic. And the reason I picked that word is because I wanted to just unapologetically share everything. I just wanted to be an open book for you guys to be able to help anybody that might be going through something I went through, might be going through something I was going through at that time. Or maybe you've gone through it and you had some tips for me to get through it. But I just wanted to be unapologetically me. I don't want to say I'm sorry because I think somebody didn't like the way I acted. I don't want to say I'm sorry because somebody doesn't like the color of my hair or whether I wanted to get Botox or whatever it may be. I just wanted to be unapologetically me and do what I felt in my heart I wanted to do. And that's how I lived 2018, and it was great. I said no to things I really didn't want to do, where the normal me, I'm a people pleaser, so I say yes all the time, whether I want to do it, whether I have the time to do it. It's always, yeah, sure. So it was nice. I mean, there were some other times that I could have pushed the unapologetic part a little bit more, and I'll do better in that in 2019 whenever I pick whatever word it is that I want for the year. But I like to pick a word to live by. And maybe it's just going to be truths. And maybe that's going to mean to me of just being truthful to me. And being my first, I have to love myself. So I always like to pick a word. But what I usually do towards the end of a year is I reflect on everything. And I look and see how my actions were in certain situations. And I reflect on my relationships, my marriage, my relationship with my kids, my relationship with my parents, my friendships. I reflect on those. Are all those relationships how I want them to be? Are all those relationships doing something positive for my life? And if they're not, then, I got to figure out a way to fix it, whether those people aren't in my life or I talk with those people and say, hey, being with you every day is kind of dragging me down, and we need to figure something out. I want you to be happy, and you don't seem happy, whatever the situation may be, and then try to help that person. So that's why I was thinking of all of this. Just take day by day. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't do resolutions. I just think of a word, and I just try to live as close to that word every day as possible. Because everybody always makes that resolution of losing this much weight or doing this, and it's always this big astronomical resolution that after a few months they forget about it because they made this big thing, but they didn't make small actions to get there. So the way I feel is if I think of a word that I want to live by the whole year that really jives with me and what I want that year to be, then I find that I stick to it a little bit more because it's just a word to remember every day. It's not this big, huge goal that you're going to forget after 4 or 5 months. Because that's what always happens. Everybody goes gung-ho in January, and then they start trickling out in February. Guys, I run these fitness groups all the time, and that's exactly how they go. Everybody's gung-ho at the beginning. Everyone's on point. They're following the nutrition. They're doing their workouts. They're doing everything. Then they start to see the results, and they're like, ooh, my core's looking good. I'm going to have a cookie. And then that cookie leads to maybe a cookie every night. And then next thing you know, it's February. No one's really posting that much in the group. People are falling off because you have to make small little goals inside. So I've definitely learned how to help my group members and my Fit Club members to make the big goal. But then let's make a goal each month to hit, because then you feel more motivated because you're reaching for something every single month. So having that word of the day, you reach for something every day. So it definitely helps. But anyways, totally got off topic because my topic was the fact to let you know that you're always in control. You never lose control. It's just sometimes when you feel lost, you think you have no control at all, and you really do. And I just wanted to remind you of that today. So for today being Friday, let's go into this day with a great mindset that you are going to control your actions. And if you feel for some reason your action went out of control, let's try to be mindful of that. So here's my call to action for you, is to be mindful of your reactions to things and the way that you act and the way that you go about different things. And let's see if there's something that you can't change to make your day a little bit more positive and to make your day a little bit more happy. Because sometimes we don't always want to be going to work. Sometimes we want to just be home and spend time with our kids. Like I find it very hard to go to work when I know my kids are here at home, because I don't get to see them every day. I don't get to be with them every day. They do not live with me full time. So that's hard for me already. I went from raising them and being with them 24/7 to having to share time to, then when they're here, they're not really here because they're teenagers, so they're going out with their friends. So it's really hard because I like to spend that time with them. So a lot of times we don't want to go to work. A lot of times there's things that we don't want to do, and we feel like that's out of our control, when it really is in our control. Maybe you need to find a job you really like so you enjoy going to work, right? Maybe there's a job or business that you can start to where you're home more. And you just have to think of all of those different things. So I'm going to be done with this convo because I talked a little longer than normal. I've got to get my workout done. I have to wake Ryan up in about 30 minutes so he can get ready for school and go take his very last midterm of this week. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you later. Happy Friday.